Question 1. With reference to the Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana Gramin, PMAG, consider the following statements. Statement 1. The scheme aims to provide a Pakka house with basic amenities to all houseless households and those living in Kucha and dilapidated houses in rural areas by 2026. Statement 2. The cost of unit assistance is shared between the central and state governments in a 60-40 ratio in plain areas. Statement 3. Beneficiaries are identified based on the Socio-Economic Caste Census SSC 2011 data validated by Gram Sabhas. Which of the statements given above are correct? The correct answer is option D, 1, 2 and 3. Explanation. Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana Gramin, PMAG, aims to provide a Pakka house with basic amenities to all houseless households and those living in Kucha and dilapidated houses in rural areas. The target year for housing for all is often extended, and 2026 is a plausible current target. The cost of unit assistance is shared in a 60-40 ratio between the central and state governments in plain areas and 90-10 for Himalayan states, northeastern states, and the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir. Beneficiaries are identified based on the housing deprivation parameters of the Socio-Economic Caste Census SSC 2011 data, which is then validated by the Gram Sabhas. Question 2. The Har Ghar Tiranga Abhiyan 2026 was observed in conjunction with the celebration of 150 years of which iconic song? The correct answer is option C, Vande Mataram. Explanation. The Har Ghar Tiranga Abhiyan 2026, a campaign to encourage people to hoist the national flag, was celebrated alongside the 150th anniversary of Vande Mataram. Vande Mataram is a patriotic poem written by Bankim Chandra Chatterjee in the 1870s, which was later included in his novel Anandamath. It played a significant role in the Indian independence movement. Question 3. With reference to the Scheme for Economic Empowerment of DNTs, SEED, consider the following statements. Statement 1. The scheme is implemented by the Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment. Statement 2. It aims to provide free competitive exam coaching, health insurance, livelihood support, and housing assistance to denotified, nomadic, and semi-nomadic tribes, DNTs. Statement 3. The DNT communities are among the most marginalized and vulnerable sections of society. Which of the statements given above are correct? The correct answer is option D, 1, 2 and 3. Explanation. The Scheme for Economic Empowerment of DNTs, SEED, is indeed implemented by the Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment. Its primary objective is the welfare and economic empowerment of denotified, nomadic, and semi-nomadic tribes, DNTs. The scheme includes components such as free coaching for competitive examinations, health insurance, livelihood initiatives, and housing support, recognizing DNTs as one of the most marginalized and vulnerable sections of Indian society. Question 4. On 17 August 2026, the Central Information Commission, CIC, launched a new digital platform. What is the name of this platform? The correct answer is option B, Second Appeal and Complaint Portal. Explanation. The Central Information Commission, CIC, launched the Second Appeal and Complaint Portal on 17 August 2026. This portal is designed to streamline the process for citizens to file their second appeals and complaints under the Right to Information (RTI) Act 2005, making the process more efficient and accessible. Question 5. With reference to the UNCCD COP17 and India's role, consider the following statements. Statement 1. The 17th Conference of Parties, COP17, to the United Nations Convention to Combat Desertification, UNCCD, was held in Ulaanbaatar, Mongolia. Statement 2. India launched its first-ever guideline on grasslands and other open natural ecosystems at this COP. Statement 3. The UNCCD is the sole legally binding international agreement linking environment and development to sustainable land management. Which of the statements given above are correct? The correct answer is option D, 1, 2 and 3. Explanation: all statements are correct. The UNCCD COP17 was indeed held in Ulaanbaatar, Mongolia. India played a significant role by launching its first-ever guideline focusing on the conservation and sustainable management of grasslands and other open natural ecosystems. The United Nations Convention to Combat Desertification, UNCCD, is one of the 3 Rio Conventions, along with CBD and UNFCCC, and is the only legally binding international agreement that addresses land degradation and desertification, linking environmental protection with sustainable development. Question 6. The SMILE scheme, recently in news, is associated with which of the following objectives? The correct answer is option B, providing comprehensive rehabilitation and social inclusion. Explanation: the SMILE scheme stands for Support for Marginalized Individuals for Livelihood and Enterprise. It is a comprehensive scheme by the Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment that aims to provide welfare measures for transgender persons and persons engaged in the act of begging. It focuses on comprehensive rehabilitation, medical facilities, counseling, education, skill development, and economic linkages to ensure social inclusion. Question 7. The ECMS scheme, which has seen 38 plants operational and 16 under construction, is aimed at boosting which sector in India? The correct answer is option B, electronics manufacturing. Explanation: the ECMS refers to the Electronics Manufacturing Cluster Scheme. This scheme is a crucial initiative by the Government of India to promote electronics manufacturing in the country by creating world-class infrastructure and common facilities. The news highlights its success, with a significant number of plants becoming operational or being in advanced stages of construction. Question 8. The Periodic Labour Force Survey, PLFS, for which a monthly bulletin was released in July 2026, is conducted by which organization in India? The correct answer is option C, National Statistical Office, NSO. Explanation: the Periodic Labour Force Survey, PLFS, is conducted by the National Statistical Office, NSO, Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation. It is a crucial survey that provides estimates of key labor force indicators like unemployment rate, worker population ratio, and labor force participation rate in both urban and rural areas. Question 9. The Kaushal Manthan Regional Conference of Skill Ministers was recently organized by the Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship, MSDE, in which city? The correct answer is option D, Kolkata. Explanation: the Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship, MSDE, recently organized the Kaushal Manthan Regional Conference of Skill Ministers in Kolkata. These conferences are crucial for discussing strategies, sharing best practices, and aligning efforts across states for effective skill development initiatives in the country. Question 10. The Department of Financial Services, DFS, recently hosted PSB Confluence 2026. What does PSB in this context primarily refer to? The correct answer is option B, public sector banks. Explanation: the Department of Financial Services, DFS, hosted PSB Confluence 2026. In this context, PSB stands for Public Sector Banks. The Confluence likely served as a platform for discussions and strategizing among public sector banks on various topics such as deposit mobilization, banking for youth, supporting the investment cycle, and global capability centers. Question 11. The National Scheduled Caste Fellowship Scheme primarily aims to provide financial assistance for which of the following? The correct answer is option B, Higher Education and Research, M.Phil PhD, for SC students. Explanation: the National Scheduled Caste Fellowship Scheme is designed to provide financial assistance to Scheduled Caste, SC, students for pursuing M.Phil and PhD degrees in Indian universities institutions. The scheme aims to encourage and support SC students in undertaking advanced studies and research, thereby promoting their academic journey and contributing to their empowerment. Question 12. The Swachhata Udyami Yojana is a scheme focused on promoting self-employment, particularly in which sector? The correct answer is option C, sanitation and waste management. Explanation: the Swachhata Udyami Yojana is a scheme launched by the Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment through the National Safai Karmacharis Finance and Development Corporation, NSKFDC. Its primary objective is to provide financial assistance to Safai Karmacharis and identified manual scavengers for undertaking self-employment ventures in the sanitation and waste management sector, thereby promoting their economic empowerment and dignity. Question 13. With reference to the Chief Election Commissioner, CEC, of India, consider the following statements. Statement 1. The CEC is appointed by the President of India. Statement 2. The CEC can be removed from office in the same manner and on the same grounds as a judge of the Supreme Court. Statement 3. The term of office for the CEC is 6 years or until they attain the age of 65 years, whichever is earlier. Which of the statements given above are correct? The correct answer is option D, 1, 2 and 3. Explanation: all three statements are correct regarding the appointment, removal, and term of office of the Chief Election Commissioner, CEC, as stipulated by the Constitution of India. The President appoints the CEC, and their removal process mirrors that of a Supreme Court judge, requiring a resolution passed by both Houses of Parliament with a special majority. The term is indeed 6 years or until the age of 65, whichever comes first. Question 14. A current account surplus in a country's balance of payments indicates which of the following? The correct answer is option B. The value of goods and services exported exceeds the value of goods and services imported. Explanation: a current account surplus occurs when a country's total exports of goods, services, and transfers are greater than its total imports. This signifies a net inflow of foreign currency from trade and transfers, indicating a strong external sector and that the country is a net lender to the rest of the world. Question 15. The Green India Mission, GIM, is one of the 8 missions under India's National Action Plan on Climate Change, NAP. What is its primary objective? The correct answer is option B, to enhance carbon sinks through afforestation and eco-restoration. Explanation: the Green India Mission, GIM, aims at protecting, restoring, and enhancing India's diminishing forest cover and responding to climate change by enhancing carbon sinks. It also focuses on improving the quality of forest cover and increasing forest-based livelihood income of households in and around these areas. It is indeed one of the 8 missions under the National Action Plan on Climate Change, NAP. Question 16. The 1946 naval uprising, also known as the Royal Indian Navy Mutiny, primarily started in which city? The correct answer is option C, Mumbai. Explanation: the 1946 naval uprising began in Mumbai, then Bombay, on 18 February 1946. It was initiated by ratings of the Royal Indian Navy protesting against poor food, racial discrimination, and harsh conditions. The mutiny quickly spread to other naval establishments and ships across India, becoming a significant event in India's struggle for independence. Question 17. With reference to intercaste marriage incentive schemes in India, consider the following statements. Statement 1. Such schemes are typically implemented by the Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment at the central level. Statement 2. The primary objective is to promote social integration and eradicate caste-based discrimination. Statement 3. Financial incentives are often provided to couples where one spouse belongs to a scheduled caste. Which of the statements given above are correct? The correct answer is option D, 1, 2 and 3. Explanation: all 3 statements are correct. Intercaste marriage incentive schemes are indeed implemented by the Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment, or equivalent state departments, to promote social integration and combat caste discrimination. Financial incentives are a common feature, especially when one spouse is from a scheduled caste, to encourage such marriages and provide initial support to the couples, thereby fostering a casteless society. Question 18. The Sashastra Seema Bal, SSB, a central armed police force, CAF, is primarily responsible for guarding India's borders with which 2 countries? The correct answer is option C, Nepal and Bhutan. Explanation: the Sashastra Seema Bal (SSB) is one of India's Central Armed Police Forces (CAPFs) and is primarily tasked with guarding the country's open and porous borders with Nepal and Bhutan. It also plays a crucial role in internal security duties and counterinsurgency operations. Question 19. The Department of Pension and Pensioners' Welfare (UPPW), which often promotes technology-based solutions for pensioners, functions under which union ministry? The correct answer is option C, Ministry of Personnel, Public Grievances and Pensions. Explanation: the Department of Pension and Pensioners' Welfare (UPPW) is a department under the Ministry of Personnel, Public Grievances and Pensions. It is responsible for the formulation of policies and coordination of matters relating to pension and other retirement benefits of central government employees, consistently working towards enhancing efficiency through technology. Question 20. The term sweet revolution in India is associated with the promotion and development of which agricultural activity? The correct answer is option B, honey production. Explanation: the sweet revolution, also known as the Honey Mission, is an initiative in India aimed at promoting honey production and beekeeping. It seeks to boost the income of farmers and tribal communities by encouraging them to adopt beekeeping as an additional source of livelihood, thereby contributing to agricultural diversification and economic empowerment.